So all of this started with adventure, right? So the vans went from Subarus and camping, where we met Tony, who will come into play as we go on with the story, who is an owner of pocket yachts, and hearing about the Ranger tugs. And through the years of, Subarus and making parts for those, and then moving to Tacomas and doing four-wheel campers and teardrops, and then eventually getting a van of my own to build, and then, through organic, whatever you want to call it, here we are now building vans for some of the most amazing customers in the world, getting to fill their dreams and be a part of amazing journeys. And adventure is really what it all comes down to me. Being able to use whatever you're on, or in, or driving, or flying, or whatever you want to say, to get out, see things, meet people, do cool stuff, make cool memories. And that's kind of where we're at today, right? In Florida, we have a lot of cool stuff to do with vans. We can go to Ocala National Forest. There's a whole lot of stuff further down. There's a lot of really cool beach spots. We're fortunate enough to be able to drive on the beach and all that. But the East Coast in general, as you know, isn't as friendly to vans as some other places. Well, for, the better part of a decade, I've had an affinity for being able to go on the amazing waters that we're afforded on this beautiful earth to explore. In Florida alone, there's so many different places to go, from springs to the rivers to the oceans to inlets to sandbars to state parks that you can only access by water to amazing, beautiful, scenic camp spots, because you literally can just drop an anchor anywhere. You can pull up, as long as you're, out of the channels and stuff like that, you can pull up anywhere and do what the West Coast has been able to do in a van, forever. So that brings us to being able to take advantage of some of the things that the Southeast offers in boats. Now, we're doing boats, but what does that mean, right? So just like vans and doing vans, we really only concentrate on certain things. We don't do everything for everyone. We try and stick to what we're good at, stick to the things that we can resonate with, things that we have experience with. So I call these adventure boats or van boats or whatever. It's that, 28 foot to 23 foot cabin cruiser technically, but not quite like a Sea Ray or a Bayliner, but like Ranger tugs, Nordic tugs, Sea Dories, things like that. And our ultimate goal is to apply the same things that we've learned from years and years and years on vans to the marine market. Now, as I was messing with this stuff and looking at it, this is, long in the making, and seeing, kind of exactly what boat we wanted, what application, because I wanted the smallest we could possibly go, just like a van. One of the smallest that we could do in order to kind of fit the needs of what we wanted to accomplish. And we settled on a Ranger Tugs R23, which is the smallest one that they make. We wanted to be easy to tow, easy to move, all that kind of stuff. And it is one of the boats that are kind of most similar to a van, right? It's got a normal size power system. This one came with a couple of AGM batteries, solar controller, a 2,000 watt inverter that doesn't do charging, a separate converter. So it's more like, think of an RV from, 5 or 6 years ago, or depending on the manufacturer, some current day RVs. So doing the things that we normally do to vans, so lithium conversions, because just like vans and RVs, these are relatively expensive items, and I'm not a big fan of just like sell it and buy the newest thing because it has a better power system, when for a fraction of that difference, you can make it better and prolong the life of those. You got Ranger tugs and other boats that, are 20, 30 years old and still absolutely work amazing because of the build quality and the components used, and really just need kind of an update to be able to run the AC on the water, or run an induction cooktop, or microwaves, or fridges longer, or whatever you need to run, Starlink, all that kind of stuff. So there's a real need, just like in RVs and in vans, to modernize what you have. So our concentration on this is going to be working with owners to modernize the electrical systems primarily. So doing your lithium battery conversions, changing from regular inverters to inverter chargers, doing battery monitoring, doing massive solar arrays, like we have 1200 watts on the R23 here on a custom rack that we'll be offering. You know, doing DC-DC chargers so you can charge from the outboard. If you have inboards, you can do things like a second alternator that's primarily for lithium and charge, you know, battery banks at incredible speeds. Just really trying to maximize what you have to, one, remove weight, because as we know, batteries are heavy. When you go to lithium, you can get sometimes 4 times the capacity of the battery in the same size and significantly lighter. So there's a whole lot of advantages to doing it, and then also doing it in a way that is ABYC 118013 compliant. I am ABYC certified. We are also getting some of the guys in the shop certified for ABYC as well, so that everybody is cognizant and aware of the requirements that need to happen on these. Secondarily, we'll be doing other things like working with other people in the van space. So we're currently trying to develop some new window curtains. The van world has really nice, super fast, insulated and reflective window curtains that go in from the inside, whereas on the Ranger Tug, everything goes on from the outside. If it's, you know, nasty out, you gotta get out in the rain to put your canvas on the front, all that kind of stuff. You have all your skylights that even in nice weather, they heat up the cabin so much that it makes it really, really hot. And then you have to run the AC or, you know, a ton of fans, keep the windows open. If there's mosquitoes, you gotta deal with that. So, you know, temperature regulation is gonna be a big part of the things that I'd like to do with these, making it easier. Cause like right now, if you wanna use the hatches, you've gotta pop the little bug screens out and then open the hatches and that kind of things. If we do something like a magnetic bug screen that also has a layer that has an insulated curtain, when you have them closed, you don't have the sun beating down, you know, through the glass, just all kinds of things like that. What we're not doing for now, and I'd say probably for the next, you know, 8 to 12 months, and this could change, but we're not going to be bringing boats into the shop. We're not going to be, you know, doing upfits in the shop, things like that. Not to say that, you know, touching a boat is out of question, but we're honestly so busy with vans that for right now, until we can caught up or get more space or, you know, things like that, it's not, you know, feasible to do that. What we can do is share the knowledge. So we want to document the things that we're doing, tell you how to do it, show you how to do it, because all of this, as long as you're patient, slightly mechanically inclined, you can do all of this. None of it is super hard. None of it is overly crazy complicated. With some simple tools that you can get from either your local West Marine, from Amazon, you can do all of this stuff yourself. It's just kind of that starting point that's always a hard part for people that I think we've excelled at in the years with our component kits, with our instructions, with our how-tos, all that kind of stuff. So we want to help you to do this kind of stuff. We'll have parts kits. We have all the parts available, different battery options, different solar options. We can do, you know, LED interior light kits. We can do your batteries, solar panels, your whole racks, all that kind of stuff. Once we have the soft goods developed, we'll also be able to have all those. We'll have a section on freedomvango.com dedicated to kind of what we're doing. Slowly but surely, you'll start to see that fill out. But in the meantime, we'll be posting videos and some pictures and stuff like that. If you like it, it's awesome. I'm super, super excited to share the cool adventures that you can have with these. If it's not your thing, that's also super duper cool. You know, I get it. You know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, just like vans aren't everybody's cup of tea. But I tend to find that we really excel at things when you love them. And just like vans, I absolutely love vans, and that's never going to stop. But also, this is a thing that I feel passionate about and that I think a lot of other people do as well. And with that, it allows us to do hopefully a lot of good for a lot of people. So in the same vein of helping people build their dreams with their vans and go on some adventures, we want to do the same thing with these adventure boats. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to us, freedomvango.com/contact. You also can hit us up on any of the social media stuff, you know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that jazz. We'll absolutely answer. Follow along and hang out. If you're in the area and you want to see a Ranger Tug, like there's not a lot of them in the Southeast. It's primarily a northern boat. but it also, all the advantages that you have in the north of the shelter and all that kind of stuff, you also have in the south with the shelter and the climate regulation and all that kind of stuff. So we will be going to a few meetups. There's a Sea Dory meetup in DeLand. We'll also be at the Pocket Yacht event in Dania Beach, and both of those we're going to do a talk on electrical systems in your boat and different ways you can maximize or make improvements in those. So I don't, in general, know long-term what's in store for this. I would love to be able to bring some boats in and do upfits and things like that, just like we do on vans. It's very applicable, but I just wanted to kind of sit and talk with everybody so that you know what you're seeing. I know we have talked about this a little bit in the past on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, but just wanted to kind of share some of the cool stuff we have going on at Freedom VanGo, and hopefully you guys will love it and you'll support it, and we can help a whole lot more people do some really cool things and be a part of some awesome dreams. So thanks for hanging out and letting us help you upgrade your adventure.